Shadows of the past, the rain lashed against the rusty tin roof of a small house nestled on the edge of a forgotten village. Inside, a boy named Aarav, barely 17, stared through a cracked window, watching puddles form like mirrors of sorrow on the ground. His father had died in a mine collapse 5 years ago, and since then, life had become a long road of struggle. His mother, frail and coughing up blood, worked 2 jobs to keep food on the table. Aarav wasn't a dreamer. Dreaming was a luxury he couldn't afford. But deep down, something burned within, a small, stubborn fire refusing to be snuffed out by pain. Every day, after helping his mother and working in nearby fields, he would run to the old railway station and sit for hours, watching trains leave the station, wishing he too could board one and leave everything behind. One evening, his mother held his hand and said with a weak smile, "You are meant for more, Aarav. This road, it's hard, but keep walking. You'll find your destination." Those are the last words she ever spoke. The journey begins after his mother's funeral. Aarav packed a small bag, borrowed a few hundred rupees from the village teacher, and left at dawn. With no plan, no relatives, and only a heart full of hope and fear, he stepped onto a crowded train bound for Mumbai. The city greeted him not with warmth, but chaos. Noise, honks, sweat, and the constant struggle for space. He slept on pavements, cleaned dishes in roadside eateries, and even begged when hunger clawed his insides too long. But every night, he whispered to himself, "This is not the end." Weeks turned into months. Then, one day, while sweeping the floor at a small hotel, Aarav overheard 2 young men talking about a free computer literacy program for underprivileged youth. He followed them. That decision changed everything. The climb, the NGO that ran the computer center, welcomed Aarav with cautious curiosity. He was quiet, but observant. Though he had never touched a computer before, he learned faster than anyone else in his batch. Coding, designing, typing, his hands were made for this world. One of the volunteers, a college student named Mira, noticed Aarav's potential. "Why don't you apply for scholarships? You're too smart to be stuck in a back alley," she encouraged. With her help, Aarav applied to several colleges. Months passed. Then, an envelope arrived. Aarav had received a full scholarship to a private university in Pune. He was stunned. Mira smiled at his disbelief. "Difficult roads, Aarav, but you're almost there." Storms never come alone. University life was harder than Aarav imagined. He couldn't understand English well, struggled with confidence, and often fell out of place among kids who had laptops, fancy phones, and polished accents. He was mocked, underestimated, and left out. But he remembered his mother's words. So he studied harder, practiced speaking by reading newspapers aloud at night, and took part-time jobs to afford books and a second-hand laptop. Slowly, things changed. Professors began noticing him. He won a coding competition in his second year. Internships followed, and eventually, he was selected for an international exchange program in Singapore. He called Mira the day he got the news. She cried. "You made it," she said. "Not yet," Aarav whispered, "but I see the destination now."